Castle Hill in the Bronx when band would come out to the park and play, or we would have to go over to Bronxdale or somewhere to see not Kool Herc, to see Breakout or Baron or see Mario. Sometimes we would go uptown to see Kool Herc play because Herc was in a different part of the Bronx. But this goes back to when I was very, very young, very young.
What were those parties like with Kool Herc? I mean, they're legendary now.
I mean, those parties, that was hip hop. When you had two records to the same record, just mixing it, and a guy on the mic rhyming.
And then jacking the power from somewhere, is it?
Yeah, you could. I mean, but sometimes you didn't even have to do that. Sometimes you had a homeboy who lived on the 3rd floor. All you gotta do is get a bunch of extension cords. Sometimes you didn't have to jack the power. Sometimes it was there for you.
Right.
But if it wasn't there for you, it was always ways to get it.
Right.
See? But those were fun days, you know. Back then, I mean, you can't do that nowadays because of the mentality of the people participating in the event or the police. You see, at least back then, up in the Bronx where we was at doing this, the police knew. They knew what kind of flavor we was kicking back then. You can't do that now. I don't think right now you can do that in the Bronx right now because of the mentality of the police and the conflict between the public and the police. You can't do that no more.
It seems like the same with the graffiti. I mean, the trains are being totally cleaned up, and you don't see very much new graffiti now either.
Well, I wasn't really into none of that graffiti shit before. I really don't care about that. I mean, I didn't care if the train was white or whatever. I don't care. That graffiti shit don't mean nothing to me.
You just care about the music.
I don't give a fuck about graffiti.
Right. Now, what about KRS-One? When did you first officially hook up with him?
When we was in a shelter, we had nowhere to live.
Right.
This was back when Scott was our social worker. Scott LaRock was our social worker. This goes back to, what, early 80s, late 70s, when Broadway International Disco was open on 146 and Broadway. And we met up there and we linked up and just carried it on from there. It's just tragic that what happened to him, you know.
Right, that was right when you guys were working. You'd been working with them just that day, right? And then
that's the day we just signed the contract that day. That same day he got killed, the same day we signed the contract together to my album, the first album that was out, yeah.